Hi, London. My name is Amber. I am going to answer the questions that you had about your tongue piercing. Okay, first of all, your tongue can be pierced, so don't worry about that. Um, I have a pretty short tongue, so it's good. Hiding the piercing from your mom might actually not be too easy because you're going to talk funny. And I don't think there's any way you can avoid that because you get pierced with this here. This is a very long barbell, and to have that in your mouth is very uncomfortable, um, but it has to be longer to accommodate for the swelling that you're going to have. It's hard to eat. You're going to talk with a lisp. Um, it's just not going to be too easy to hide, especially if you talk to your mom on a daily basis. But then after the swelling goes down, you can put in the shorter jewelry. Try and show you the size difference. Damn it. Yeah, it's a pretty significant difference. Sorry if you couldn't see that too well. You can also get a retainer. It basically looks like this. It's clear. This one doesn't have a clear ball on it. It's like a glitter ball, but it would come with a clear ball. You can also get barbells that are the same color as your tongue, so that would be a lot easier to hide. This here is made out of Bioplast. They're very comfortable, but the threading on them wears down quite a bit. I can't wear this one anymore because the ball just falls right off. So, yeah, it kind of sucks because they're a lot more comfortable than the metal. They're lightweight and it just feels better. Also, metal is, your dentist will tell you, is bad for your mouth. So, um, healing. You do become very swollen, like your friend told you. Ibuprofen is a great thing. You also want to drink lots of ice water. Um, Slushies will help with the swelling, and it'll soothe your tongue because it's cold. Um, the healing process can take between 2 and 4 weeks, depending on your body. The mouth generally heals pretty fast. Eating, I don't recommend you eat food that you have to chew too much. If you do eat that food, just cut it up in the smallest bits that you possibly can and just kind of let it slide down your throat because you're going to have issues with the longer barbell being in there, especially when the heel or the swelling really goes down. You'll probably bite, excuse me, bite down on the barbell quite a bit, and you can chip your tooth like that. I bit down on the barbell at least 3 times, and I never chipped a tooth, but that can definitely happen. It's also kind of hard to eat with silverware. I got the fork caught on the tongue ring once. It doesn't feel too great. So just be careful when you're eating. If you put anything in your mouth, make sure it's clean, especially your hands. Try not to touch it, but if you must, make sure your hands are clean. To clean the piercing, original Listerine, which is the brown Listerine, at least 3 times a day, and every time after you eat and drink. I got a little travel size bottle and took it with me to like work and stuff, but I got a bigger bottle for home. You can dilute it with water if you want to. It tastes really nasty, but it definitely helps a lot. You can also do sea salt rinses. You take sea salt and water. I don't know the exact measurements, but you can find that somewhere online, I'm sure. And just rinse it like you would with a mouthwash. It soothes the pain that you have quite well. Um, Avoid citrus because that will induce swelling and it's going to hurt the piercing. Try to avoid soda because it has sodium in it, and sodium can increase your swelling quite a bit. Avoid high salty foods because that as well has sodium. Avoid dairy because you can possibly get a yeast infection in the piercing and you don't want that. Um, Pros and cons, I would say cons is just, for me, it was just during the healing process that was not a fun experience. To learn how to eat and talk again. My piercer told me to practice my ABCs every day, which sounds ridiculous, but it does help because your mouth has to get used to saying those words with that new foreign object that is now in your mouth. So just say your ABCs maybe once a day or once every other day. Um, excuse me. But yeah, those are the only cons I can think of, is just trying to get used to it being in there. But the shorter barbell, it's a huge difference. And if you put in a Bioplast piece of jewelry, like I said, it's a lot more comfortable. Pros, it's a fun piercing. Um, it's a little, you might feel a little rebellious when you do it, which can be fun. Um, that's all I can really think of. If you smoke, avoid smoking. Do not drink alcoholic drinks. Avoid oral sex for at least 6 weeks is probably what your piercer is going to tell you, because you do not want an infection. Infections with oral piercings are not very common because of your mouth's natural healing process. But if you do happen to have an infection, it's usually very painful, more painful than the initial pain with the piercing itself. You'll also have a discharge. A white discharge is normal because white means healthy. If it's a dark yellow, if it's green, or if it's brown, it is not healthy. And what you want to do is go back to your piercer, see what they can suggest. They might send you to get antibiotics from your doctor, but might not be that serious. Excuse me, I'm really sick right now, so I'm sorry. But anyway, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them for you.